The topics is about chemicals. What kind of chemicals we talking about? We are talking about chemicals that is in our industry, the nail industry, folks. You know, it's one of those topics that we hear about, we discuss about, we have issue with, we hear from this person, we hear from that person. Well, today, folks, we're going to clear some of those myths, some of those information that maybe you know or maybe you don't know. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. Me, personally, I don't know. That's why I'm doing this, folks, to learn just like you folks. All right? Let's bring in the team, okay? Here they are. Look at that group, folks.
Chào tất cả mọi người. Hi everybody. Today we are hosting Mr. Jim McConnell because we are aware that he has been testing some product from somewhere that Samantha Sweet posted last week. Directly pointed to the interview with Jim and Sam Sweet. It happened about a week ago, right, Jim?
Yeah, a week ago.
Yeah, so we just want to wrap up what is the key point, what did you find, and what is the direction, and most importantly, what is the reason, what is the motivation and purpose that why you did ReCAP tests like that?
Well, one of the reasons why we did a lot of the testing is because in the UK there's a large issue with onycholiasis and trying to figure out what the cause of the onycholiasis is over there.
Yeah.
And so I received some samples from some nail technicians and we ran it through some test equipment we have here, trying to figure out what was going on. We've received these samples. We also were sent SDSs, or safety data sheets, for some of those materials. And a lot of times, the ingredients on the safety data sheets don't match up with the actual content inside the bottles of the product that we received. In an effort to make sure that we can identify what's causing the onycholiasis, so we can work with the companies to make sure that they know exactly what's in the product that they're selling.
Hey, Jim, let me jump in. Onycholitis, for an attorney like me, what is that?
That's where the fingernail separates from the skin underneath the nail bed.
Ah, got it.
It looks extremely painful. Oftentimes it's inclusive of any other issues associated with an allergic reaction.
A lot of times it's caused by overfouling too, okay? You know, you're overfouling your nails to where it gets to the point where it's really thin and it causes the separation of the nail plate and the nail bed. Okay, so that could be contributed to onycholiasis.
Cho các bạn Việt Nam và nhất là những bạn Việt Nam not familiar with the procedure thì là vậy, những cái sản phẩm của ngành cosmetic, ngành thẩm mỹ, cụ thể là ngành nail á, theo luật á, là phải có cái danh sách của những cái thành phần sản phẩm ở trên cái bottle, trên cái lọ. Thì và còn có một cái nữa là những cái sản phẩm mà bán trong thị trường professional này thì phải có những cái tờ giấy để mình nói lên những cái sự an toàn của sản phẩm của mình, thì cái đó hồi xưa nó gọi là MSDS, thì bây giờ nó đổi tên là SDS, thì đại khái là Safety Data Sheet, tức là một cái tờ giấy hoặc là nhiều trang giấy nó liệt kê ra những thành phần hóa học ở trong cái sản phẩm đó, và những cái quan ngại về mặt an toàn nó phải list ra hết. Nó có dễ cháy không, nó có làm cho dị ứng trên da hay không, nó có nồng độ mà cao ở trong không khí là bao nhiêu, đến mức độ nào thì gây ra những cái tác hại về ngay lập tức, tức là acute problem hay là long term problem như là occupational problem, thì phải có tờ giấy đó. Thì bây giờ ông Jim ông nhận được cái sản phẩm từ ở bên đâu, hình như là Europe, thì ông nhận về những cái lọ sản phẩm và đồng thời ông cũng nhận được những cái tờ giấy nói về sự an toàn của cái sản phẩm đó. Thì cái ông tìm thấy là như vậy, là ông run cái test, ông tìm ra thành phần sản phẩm, thì thành phần sản phẩm mà ông tìm được á thì nó không có match với lại cái list của những thành phần ở trên cái tờ giấy, thành ra có một cái sự không có cái gì không đúng ở đây. how many causes that possibly can make onycholysis occur. So one of the things is Kevin mentioned, if we overfoul, some overfouling can cause it, and Jim, maybe some of the chemical reaction can make it happen too, right?
Correct.
Is there any other cause that can make onycholysis?
Not that I'm aware. The goal is to make the products that we put on the market as safe as possible, to identify what's actually in the bottle and make sure that it actually matches what's on the SDS that the supplier provides. And it's a service that we really feel strongly about, and in a lot of cases we would do it for free, so that the manufacturer who's selling the product, branding that product, can put it out in the market and know that what they're putting out actually matches what's on the SDS. Because a lot of nail technicians don't have a chemical degree, right, Tong? So
Yeah.
in an effort to make, the next steps would be to make sure that we can identify if the onycholysis is being caused by an allergic reaction, what are the chemicals inside that system that might be causing the allergic reaction, or what is the process during the application and curing that could be causing the allergic reaction, or what is the treatment after the application that could be causing the allergic. The next phase would be to go ahead and identify the curing process, identify to make sure that we know that the product is not leaching uncured material, and making sure that if it is there a solution to that? And then 3, once we have all that taken care of, set up a test where we actually conduct allergic reaction testing on volunteers to see what the effects are of those raw materials at various concentrations, to see if we can figure out. So we were testing products that were sent to us by actual Chinese manufacturers. So when we attend some of these trade shows, like Cosmoprof in Bologna or Cosmoprof in the United States and Las Vegas, manufacturers will bring you samples and see if you want to brand those as your own. So I've been collecting these. Then we had nail technicians where I posted on various message boards or chat areas on Facebook or Instagram, asking people to send me samples of things that they were concerned about. And then I also compared that to known blends that we have in-house. So we've, as a result of that,
What is the standard you're comparing these test results?
there's a few different standards that I think that we can take a look at. One standard is, because I have my own of our system, I know how many allergic reactions have been reported to me throughout the world. And if that's a benchmark where we can say that's a very low mark, and anything between that mark and a different mark would be acceptable, so that would be a standard to which I would say is a good standard. C and D has a very low allergenic response rate as well. So if we take a look at some of that, you can at least estimate that those levels would be typically considered to be reasonable. Now, you can't control anybody's reaction to a chemical because everybody will behave differently.
You know, as the salon owner, I do not have the knowledge of the SDF,
MSDS.
and the SD data sheet of your safety. We don't have the knowledge of reading that, and most of the people, they try to look for the cheap product, but some of the other, they don't look for the cheap product, but they try to look for the right product to use. But as the salon owner, be honest with you, whatever there is display on the shelf of the supplies, they say, okay, this is for that purpose, this is for that purpose, and then we buy it, and then we use it in the salon. I had heard you say, the content is different than with the data sheet display on the bottle. How can we identify which product is?
And there's no way for a nail technician or a person going into a supply house to look at the ingredients that are on the bottle and know that they're right or they're wrong. That would be something closer for Tong or myself to do. It's just too difficult.
Yeah.
But
So actually, where
if a manufacturer or a person who's branding a product is interested, they can send me a bottle of their product. They can send me their SDS, and I will hold that confidential between the two companies, and I will send them.
actually the product out there, we don't know which one is good and which one is bad, right?
Right. And then you can do your research online via social media networks and find out if there are a lot of complaints about those products or there's no complaints. You can post something.
The best recommendation is the distributor ought to have the SDS.
Yes.
Okay, ask them if they can give you. If they don't have it, they do something wrong.
Use it. Yeah.
Okay, so use the right distributor that do the right thing. They ought to have the SDS for you, and you don't sometimes you don't have to do that. Okay, because if you have the SDS and you don't know how to read it, you have another problem, right? So so I think that mean that grab the one who has the responsibility. Okay, so if you have that that bottle, right? It has the brand name. Okay, it must have the phone number and the address, right? And if you call that phone number, nobody pick up. That's not a good sign, right? And if you look at the address and it say like in the middle of nowhere, and they just exist about 1 month ago. They just exist yesterday. Compared with the one that Jim said, the long existence, have the good reputation. Okay, which one should you go? You go to the one that just popped out to the market, or you want to go with the one that prove that they consistently deliver, right? So pick up the call, a phone call. Nowadays, phone call doesn't cost anymore, much more even international call. So call them if they pick up the phone and answer your legitimate question, make you satisfied. The other step is looking for a few more reference somewhere else, like Jim said, on the Facebook. Ask the people you know, ask the experience. Ask
me.
Mr. Kelvin.
Okay, Unfolk, I recommend
Kelvin.
a brand. I don't own it, but it's Kelvin St. Pham Gel something, okay? I heard that they got a special this week, buy one, get one. And an extra one.
How many products did you test, and you have the information with you? Like, the product is different than the...
At this point, we've tested, I want to right in the ballpark of about a dozen different brands. And of those dozen different brands, we've tested top coats, base coats, color coats, building products, hard gels, soak-off gels, so quite a bit.
So out of those 10, how many of them display different with the product they content?
About 1/3 of them, the ingredients were quite accurate. About 1/3 were actually a little bit more than 1/3 of those were close, but not quite not accurate. But they were close to being accurate.
Okay, what can we do in order to prevent other people to use it? Should we report to any government office or anywhere so they can?
I think ultimately it would be best for the distributor first to know that what you see on the label doesn't quite seem right, or what you see, and let the distributor handle it from there. If they just choose to stop selling that brand because that brand doesn't comply with U.S. or EU or Asian regulations, then that's one way to make the manufacturer, whoever's buying.
Folks, obviously you heard the discussion. If you haven't, just rewind it back to the beginning and you can hear it's just been an amazing, topics that we've been talking about today, folks. All I want to say is almost like giving a plug, folks. I don't mean to give a plug, but this is what it's going to sound like. We've been mainly when it comes down to what I'm listening in, okay, aside from all the important information about the chemical, how it can affect you, the manufacturer should be doing, the distributor should be accountable, who's going to protect the salon owner, and why is the customer coming in asking for the MSDS sheet? Okay, got all of that. For me, it's about what brand are you going to support? Now, that's the question you want to ask yourself, folks. What brands are you going to support that will help to elevate the industry that you are in. See, that's how I always approach my product. Believe me, folks. I know most of the people and stuff that are producing the products out there, folks. And I get free products all the time. All right? So I say this because, on that note, folks, it's something for you to consider. That is something that you need to make the decision for yourself. Okay? But I would just like for you to consider the longevity of our industry depends on the company that you are supporting right now. On that note, folks, have a wonderful day. Thank you again to all my guests. I know we can have them back soon. You guys be safe and be kind. All right? Peace out.